Hey everybody, what's up and welcome to another Sims 4 house building video. In today's video, I am not building a house, I'm actually building a set of apartments. And this is a set of apartments that I think is perfect for the new Lovestruck Expansion Pack. I just bought the new expansion pack. This is actually the very first thing that I built with this pack. I actually think that I said that in another video that I just recorded, but that's not true. This is the first thing that I built with that pack. And I had a lot of fun with this one. This is something that I wanted to build just because I think moving forward, obviously they're not going to do this, but I think after the 4 rent pack, I want apartments in every world. And obviously they're not going to include apartments in a world that shouldn't, by the Sims standard, have apartments because they don't come with this pack or whatever. But I think moving forward, whenever a new pack comes out, I'm going to end up building a new set of apartments for that world. Now, this world does come with penthouses. Obviously, this isn't a penthouse, but I don't personally love penthouse lots in this game. I don't think that they're very good. I think that there's a lot of issues with them, with how the cameras move when you're on the lots and things like that. And I know Little Simsy has the same opinion, and I think I agree with her. I think they leave a little bit to be desired. But anyway, this is a very small apartment building that I wanted to build for this world. And the reason I was doing this was because when I started playing with the new Lovestruck pack and I actually made a family and moved into an existing lot, I realized that there wasn't really a starter home that was appropriate for more than one sim that wasn't dating. There was only really the one starter home, and although I really like the starter home, I think the Sims have come a long way with the builds that they ship with their new expansion packs or game packs or whatever, because they actually get real Simmers to build these houses. I really like the house that came with the game, but when I started playing with the new pack, I actually created a brother and sister, and obviously they're not going to be occupying one bedroom. So I wanted to create a series of lots that would have multiple kind of starter apartments, and that's what I did. Basically, this ends up being, I think, 5 units. Yes, 5 units. And I'm checking my notes. I made notes before this because I'm sick of going on tangents and not knowing what I'm talking about while I'm recording these voiceovers. I swear to God, I build an entire house. I'll spend 4 hours building something. The second I hit record to talk about it, I all of a sudden don't know anything about it. So I'm trying to be better at that. Anyway, this is a 5 apartment building. 5 apartment building? There's 5 units in this apartment building. 2 of them end up being kind of studios. One is kind of an unoccupied studio. You'll see that at the very end. It's the last one that I work on. And part of the reason why it's unoccupied is because I got kind of lazy. And I was like, wouldn't it be fun if one of these was just kind of an empty apartment and a bit run down and a bit disheveled, maybe look like it's being renovated. I just got lazy. I didn't feel like building an entire new apartment because by that point I'd done 4 fully furnished apartments. So I just kind of wanted to be done. But I do think that if you guys wanted to download this, which you absolutely can, my gallery ID will be in the description. If you download this and you want to move in somewhere and have kind of an empty space that you want to make your own, there is an apartment on this lot that is perfect for that. It is furnished, it's functional, it has a functional bathroom and kitchen. It's just not very nice, and I think it needs a lot of work. I kind of purposely furnished it to look like it was under construction, and I just think that's a lot of fun. But anyway, there is 1 fully furnished studio. There are 2 2-bedrooms and 2 1-bedroom apartments. I think I've just miscounted. That's 6. There is not 6. I think there's 2 1-bedrooms and 1 2-bedroom, or 2 2-bedrooms and 1 1-bedroom. I swear to God, I made notes and I still can't remember. Anyway, there are many apartments, perfect for any type of sim, and one of the 2 bedrooms is considered a starter apartment. You can move into it without cheats with 2 sims, and another one is a starter apartment that's suitable for 1 sim. So there is options here, and you'll see as I'm going through that I do try to furnish each apartment to kind of suit different types of sims, like maybe a single sim and then an older couple and maybe a couple of friends or siblings or whatever. I kind of try to design each apartment to suit different types of sims for different types of gameplay. And I'm really, really happy with this one. It took me a long time, but I'm really, really happy with it. As you can see, I kind of went with this kind of idea of kind of a motel look. I really am obsessed with motels. I think that there's something very cool about them, and I'm really obsessed with them in The Sims because I think they lend themselves quite nicely to how we play The Sims. They're very easily laid out, kind of easy to navigate. You can have multiple different units all on top of each other and it doesn't feel too cramped, but it still feels kind of realistic. I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking it, but I really like how this turns out. I think it's really cute. I think that there's a lot you can do with motels, and obviously this isn't a motel. It's not like somewhere you stay for short periods, like 1 or 2 nights, but I also think that it kind of goes with the aesthetic of the game as a whole. Obviously Lovestruck is a little bit sexy, a little bit more adult. It's kind of probably the most adult pack we've ever seen in The Sims, and that's saying a lot. But there's a lot of emphasis on dating, and there's an entire woohoo hotel down the street, so they're not tiptoeing around the idea, and I kind of think that a motel kind of suits that whole game style. I don't know, I just think it suits this pack. And as you can see, I tried to make this blend into the world as best I could. I tried to use a lot of the new objects, like the new windows and doors and things like that, and I wanted it to be very, very colorful. So I used some of the new wallpapers in that new orange swatch, which is really vibrant, which I really, really like. And I paired it with blues, and I just think it's really, really cute. And those kind of like square, bear with me, I'm going to try to explain these. Those windows that are like floor to ceiling, kind of ceramic looking square patterns. That's the best I'm going to do with trying to describe that. But they're an object that came with the For Rent pack, and I think that they suit this style really nicely. Obviously they aren't entirely Mexican inspired like this pack is, but I do think that they just kind of fit in this aesthetic, and I really like what I was able to do with kind of adding that bit of architectural detail, mixing it with the blue columns and then the kind of orange in the background. And I just think this turns out really cute, and I think it blends into the world really nicely. There's lots of colorful buildings around here, and this one is really colorful, but it's all kind of muted. So there's really vibrant patches with the orange and the blue accents, but they're all kind of on paler colors as a whole. So it just looks, I think it looks nice. Maybe I'm biased because I built it, but I think it's nice. And I don't know, I think it suits this world. I think it's very cute. I'm kind of talking in circles here, but I'm really quite fond of this. I can imagine myself putting this in most save files that I have. Like if I'm playing in my own free time, I can imagine using this quite a lot as kind of the starting point for Sims living in this new world. And I don't know, I think it's very well suited to its purpose. And I should also mention that there is kind of a community space in this building as well. I believe it's the first thing that I'm actually going to build, so maybe I shouldn't talk about it yet. But as you can see, we're kind of going around and laying out each apartment. As I'm building, I haven't yet changed it to a residential rental lot type, just because those lot types are so glitchy, like so painfully glitchy. And I don't know if it's like this for everyone, but I know it is like this for a lot of Simmers, and it's incredibly frustrating. It is so frustrating to spend money on a pack and then it's unplayable because it's so glitchy. So what I've done is, as I'm building this, it is just a regular residential lot, and that's just so I can build without it being entirely too glitchy to play with. Now, I have played with this lot in my own time, and I have made it a residential rental, and it does function completely fine. When you enter build mode, it does get kind of glitchy, but when you're just playing the game, it's completely fine. So I have had no trouble with that, but it's just very frustrating to not be able to use one of the main functions of a main expansion pack in this game. So as I'm building, it is just a residential lot, but that doesn't affect what it is when you download it. And as you can see, I've divided up all of the apartments. They all are laid out now, and right here I'm working on those kind of community spaces that I was talking about. So it does have a communal washing machine, laundry room, whatever you want to call it, and right next door to this it does have a gym space, and I left the gym kind of minimal. I didn't furnish it too much, just so if you download this lot you can make it whatever you want it to be. I personally use gyms a lot in gameplay, and that's why I made this one. Just because I feel like if I was playing this, that's the lot I would need most accessible to my Sims. So it's just what I did. But like I was saying, you can make it whatever you want. I also really like the idea of having these kind of communal laundry spaces. Now, I will say, they're not very functional. They are functional. They do fully function. They're kind of annoying on community lots because Sims love to put laundry into washing machines and then never wash anything. So there will just be dirty laundry sitting in washing machines and then wet laundry sitting forever in dryers. And I'm like, just dry it and put it away, you know? So it is kind of annoying in that sense, but anyway, I like to include them. I think it adds a bit of realism to gameplay. And as you can see, I did kind of make this a bit more rundown, a bit more shabby. And I did include some of the residential rental objects like I think it's a water heater and like an electricity fuse box or whatever it's called. So this is functional. I also included the new woohoo closet just because I thought that was funny. But yeah, as you can see, we're moving on to this little gym space and I keep it very simple in here. It's kind of all the cheapest objects you can use for gyms, and that's just purely for the reason that I don't think that the newer objects, the ones that came with this pack, would suit this kind of build. It's kind of meant to be a bit of an older building that's slowly being refurbished, but maybe the gym space has gotten the least amount of attention in that refurbishment. So I don't know, that's kind of the idea I was going with. I wanted it to look a little bit run down. Also, little pet peeve I have with this game, in the trailers, when they were showing the new dating app, they were showing Sims like holding dumbbells, and I thought, oh my god, we're finally getting new gym equipment. And we didn't. We just got kind of a decorative object, and then when your Sims are using the new dating app, there's just pictures of people using gym equipment that doesn't exist in the game. Weird choice on the Sims part. But anyway, as you can see, we are moving on to the first of the 5 apartments. And this one is the fully furnished studio space. So it is a studio apartment. There's no separate bedroom, but I absolutely love this one. This is one that I actually had a Sim move into, and I really enjoyed playing in this one. So when I got the pack, I started playing with a single Sim, and then I was like, I feel like I'm not getting the most out of this pack. So then I started over with 2 Sims and moved them into a different apartment on this lot. But the guy that was occupying this house, I loved. I just loved playing in this space. I feel like it's very easy to play in. It has everything you need, fully kitted out kitchen, dining space, kind of a workspace, bedroom area, and I feel like I divided it out really nicely, if I do say so myself. Also, one thing to mention, I don't think I include any footage of any of the bathrooms just because I tend to kind of speed run bathrooms just because I find them kind of annoying to do because they're very repetitive. It's a lot of placing the same type of object over and over again, and I don't think it makes for a very good YouTube video. So I did cut out all of the footage of me making the bathrooms. I actually don't think I even recorded it. But anyway, as you can see, it's kind of coming together. It comes together quite quickly. This one I probably put the most detail into. I did a lot of little clutter objects and things. And actually, I'm just going to say it now before I forget, that object that I use in the kitchen on the wall to create that like kind of tile backsplash, it's a new decorative object that comes with the new pack. And when I tell you that's my favorite object they've ever added into the game, I really mean it. I just think it's so versatile. I really hope that they add more like that going forward. This one I think is beautiful. It has so many swatches, so many colorful swatches. I hope down the line that they add more that have kind of more plain swatches. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, the blue tile backsplash in the kitchen is an object that you can place on any wall. So you could use any wallpaper that you like, and then you can put that tile on it, and you don't have to use an entirely different tile type wallpaper, whatever. It's so versatile. I think it fits in so many different types of spaces. I think I use it in every single apartment in this building. And I just love it so much. I just think it's probably one of the most versatile building decorative objects that we've ever gotten in the game, and I'm so excited about it. I know that sounds so silly, but it's always this way with new packs. I always get so excited over the smallest objects. Another thing that I love is those little candlesticks that I just put on the dining room table. I do remove them. I don't keep them in this lot. I think they're too formal for what this lot is, or this apartment is. But I absolutely love those. I so often have wanted those, especially when I was recently building my Bridgerton houses. I was always trying to occupy space on dining tables and on mantelpieces and things like that, and I kept looking for an object like that, and I kept just going for different objects or like an entire light fixture in its place, but I always wanted things like that, so I'm so glad that they've added objects like that. I feel like The Sims are doing a good job with things like that recently. Little simple objects that so many people have in their homes that we haven't had yet, like placeable tiles and candlesticks and that little free pillow cushion thing that they gave us that you can put on any couch or bed or whatever. I absolutely love that. I love that they're doing these things, and I really hope that they keep this up because I'm really liking what they're doing at the moment. Also, that couch that I just placed is from that weird little pack that brought hamsters into the game, My First Pet Stuff, I think that's what it's called. That went for free recently on the EA app or whatever it's called, and I downloaded it thinking I'm never going to use this, and I've used that a surprising amount of times, but I've never used that couch. I've used so many things from that pack, weirdly, and I've never used that couch. I never even knew it was in the game, but I absolutely love it. It has kind of horrible swatches, but it kind of works in this space because this is such a colourful building and colourful apartment. It just kind of works. So I'm really happy with that one. I was just able to tie a lot of objects together with that. It kind of ties in with the bed, and then there's some yellow tones around, and I just think it's cute. I don't know, you might completely disagree, but I really like this apartment. I think it turns out very, very cute. It's kind of appropriate for a young single sim, which obviously just works for the type of pack that this is. Now, moving on to the second apartment, this one is one of the bigger apartments. I believe that this is one of the 2-bedroom apartments. I will correct myself very shortly. I think this might be one of the 1-bedroom. I can't remember. I need to zoom out. I'm just not doing it in this footage. But this is one of the bigger apartments. I kind of designed this to look a little bit older, like maybe the people that have lived here longer than the people next door. So the smaller studio apartment has been renovated, and this one is kind of a bit older, but nonetheless, I think it's very cute. I think I've been really into trying to build spaces around specific sims or families or whatever, and it just makes it much easier to furnish. So when I was building this, I was kind of thinking of specific types of sims. Like next door, the first one that I built, I was kind of thinking, oh, it's a young single guy, and I kind of built the apartment around him. And then this one was kind of a similar thing. I was like, oh, it's a older couple maybe that live here, and this is the 2-bedroom. Sorry. So this is what I was imagining was kind of a single parent and their young child, like maybe child, preteen, teenager kind of age, maybe like 15-year-old, whatever. The age doesn't really matter, but the idea was that I would build this house specifically for them, and it makes it so much easier. I don't know why. This isn't anything new. This isn't something I've invented to make building easier. People have been doing this as long as The Sims has been around, but for some reason I've only just discovered that you could do this. But it just makes building so much easier, and specifically furnishing much easier. I think I'm a decent builder. I'm not always great at furnishing. I think I use a lot of the same objects over and over again. Even in building this whole set of apartments, I noticed how often I gravitate towards the same objects. Like if I'm looking for a couch, I'll always go to the couch from the, oh my god, what is it called? The like Ghost Hunter pack? It's like a game pack about like ghost hunting. Haunted house? No. You know the one I'm talking about. The one that comes with like the crystal ball and the ability to like talk to ghosts and stuff. Ghost Hunter? What was that called? I don't know. Leave a comment, let me know. Sorry, my brain is fried. But I tend to lean towards the living room furniture from that pack, weirdly enough. They're just very versatile couches and armchairs and things like that that come with that pack. And I love it. But when you're designing for like a specific sim, like this bedroom, for example, is very obviously for a younger sim, like a young teenager. And I was able to make it like super colorful and include some of the objects from like high school years and growing together and things like that. And those packs, high school years and growing together, sorry, a little side tangent. Those packs are a game changer for creating younger sims. The amount of times that I've gone to build like not even just a teen bedroom, but like a young adult, like really truly young adult, like a 21-year-old's bedroom. 21-year-olds and 17-year-olds are not that different. They have a lot of the same objects. We're kind of, I'm saying we, I'm 25. I'm not 21 anymore. Oh my god. But like, I have a lot of things as a 25-year-old that I'm sure a lot of 18-year-olds have. And those packs, growing together in high school years, have just brought so many things into the game that I think are so useful for builds like that, like including different types of lights or posters or whatever. Doesn't matter. Side tangent. Anyway, as I was saying, imagining specific Sims just makes building easier. Like this bedroom, I was picturing a young single parent, and they're kind of more mature, maybe a bit more put together than I am. And what am I doing? I'm not a young single parent. But yeah, just imagining different types of Sims that live in specific spaces just makes building so much easier. And especially in a place like this where I was essentially building 5 houses back to back, it just made it very easy to not repeat objects, because this house, for example, this apartment is apartment number 3, and this one was the one that I initially started talking about when describing the last one. And this is for I was imagining an older couple living here, or maybe an older Sim living on their own, but like they've been here their whole life, and it's a nicer space. It's a bit bigger because maybe they have rent control, something that we do not have the glory of, but they're just an older Sim or older Sims living in this building, and maybe this is the oldest apartment that has kind of gone unrenovated for the longest time. And I just think it's super cute. I did have to cut out some of the footage for this, so I don't think that I show any of the bedroom, and obviously the bathroom's been cut out, but just some of my files got randomly corrupted, which was a bit weird. It wasn't really corrupted, there was just kind of a weird lighting issue with it, so I just had to cut some things out. But nonetheless, absolutely love this apartment. This is probably one of my favorite apartments. I think the living room, not my favorite, but I love the kitchen and dining area. And the bathroom in this, I absolutely love. There's no bath in it, but I did get to use the new shower object, which is kind of a more open shower, similar to the one that came with the University pack. And I think it was University and Snowy Escape. They both kind of came with these like freestanding showers that you could kind of build custom showers around. But the two from those packs were more commercial, I want to say. They didn't look like everyone would have them in their homes. Whereas the one that comes with Lovestruck is definitely made for a private dwelling. It just looks very appropriate for houses, apartments, whatever. And it comes with a new shower door object, which, if you're not a Sims player, this sounds so weird, but objects like shower doors and pillows and things of that nature, wall tiles, just make me so excited. And you all get what I mean if you play The Sims. If you're just watching this and you don't play The Sims, you must be so confused by people saying things like this, but objects like that are just everyday objects are the things that I get the most excited about. Like when they added laundry to the game, got so excited. Weird, mundane, everyday things that we shouldn't get excited about, but I did. Anyway, little side rant over. I'm now moving on to the 4th apartment, and this is the apartment that I was talking about earlier that's kind of appropriate for 2 Sims. So initially what I was going to do was build kind of a young parent house. So I was thinking that this would maybe be like a young couple and an infant was initially my plan. But as I was building it, I actually went back and scrapped and started fresh. And I decided to make this a apartment for like 2 young adults, because I think if you're playing the new Lovestruck pack, you're probably not playing with kids. And if you're going to download this lot and place it in the new world, I think you're probably playing with a lot of the new features from Lovestruck. So I wanted this to be a space that you could just have 2 Sims live in, or just 1 Sim live in, and then have a spare bedroom that you could turn into like a skill building room or something. Because the 2nd bedroom is definitely on the smaller side, but I just wanted this to kind of be a space for young adults. And I think it's really cute. When I actually went to play the game and I scrapped my first gameplay of playing with a single Sim, I created a brother and sister, like I was saying, and I moved them into this apartment. And I've been having so much fun playing in it. It's just so easy. It's very well laid out, if I do say so myself. And it's just very, you know when you're playing and you know when a house is or isn't good for gameplay? Like sometimes really overly furnished houses are kind of hard to play in because there's so many objects and the layout's kind of funny. And even though it looks good, it's not very good for gameplay. I feel like this apartment kind of teeters that line really well of there's lots in it, but it's not so overly decorated that you can't really play in it anymore. I just think it's really cute, if I do say so myself again. But I just really like it. I'm really, really proud of how it turned out. I love how this living space is laid out. It's very simple, very, very simple, and it is actually affordable. You can move in here straight out of Create a Sim with 2 single sims, and you will be able to afford this. I'm not exactly sure how much it comes to, so I don't know if you can move into this with 1 sim, but I'm sure if you edited it and maybe took out some of the objects like the gaming station or the stereo or the second bedroom, you could probably move in here with just 1 sim. And I don't know, I just think it's really cute. I'm really, really happy with this. I'm so glad that I was able to include more than 1 affordable apartment, and I actually got 3 affordable apartments in this. But you will see the third one, it's a bit of a stretch saying that I included it. It's kind of empty, there's not really anything in it. But as for this one, I absolutely love this bedroom. So when I was designing this, I did have a specific sim in mind that I was playing with, so I designed the bedroom for him, and I just absolutely love this. I love those new side tables. I loved mixing it with those orange lamps and that bed. I think that's from Growing Together, I want to say, that kind of rattan blue bed. Absolutely love that object. It's my favorite bed in the game. And that dresser, I love it. I think this is the third apartment that I've actually put this dresser in. So as I was saying about repeating objects, anyway, I love it. And yeah, it's just a very simple little bedroom. It's kind of cramped, but still very accessible. It's very easy to get 2 sims into this room. And because the second room that I built, the bed is kind of like up against the wall, so it's kind of hard to get like a second sim in there. It's not great if you're trying to get them to woohoo. The first bedroom that I built is easier for woohoo. But this bedroom, again, also built for one of my sims. So this one is much more specific to my sims, not like the other houses that were a bit more general, but still for specific ideas of people. These were specifically designed around 2 sims that I've made. But this one, as you can see, is a bit smaller. I'd imagine if you were moving in here with like a single bed, it would be a much easier space to move around in, but I didn't want it to be a single bed, so it is what it is. And now onto the last apartment that I've mentioned a couple of times already. This moves kind of quick. This is kind of an unfurnished, unfinished kind of loft space, studio space, whatever you want to call it. And I really like it. I had a lot of fun with this. It's really fun to just find like weird objects. Like there's a couple of chairs in the corner that I think are meant to be for like weddings that I included because I was like, they look like they have a tarp over them. And I included like some mats for painting and some paint buckets and scratches on the walls and leaks under the sink and things like that, and just had a lot of fun. But with that, this is the last apartment in this entire build, so I am coming to the end, so I'm going to try wrap things up fairly quickly here. If you like this video, please remember to subscribe, share it with a friend, leave a comment with your thoughts. If you have any ideas for future builds, leave a comment, like, all that good stuff. And with that, I'm going to wrap up the video. I hope you guys have an amazing day wherever you're watching this from. Let me know where you're watching this from, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.